The Body's Chemical Factory, Part 1. Welcome to Be Fab, Be You Made Simple, your daily dose of inspiration designed to help you reinvent yourself by optimizing your body and mind. I am Maria Horstman, a health editor and coach, a fitness trainer, a speaker, and an entrepreneur, founder of BeFabBU.com. Our episodes are short and will bring you valuable content and practical nuggets for optimal health and fitness that you can implement ASAP. Let's get you to feel fabulous every day. Are you ready? Check out the show notes too. 1, schedule a free call with me to discuss a plan to take your health to the next level. 2, submit a question to be featured in our Ask Me Anything episodes on Sundays. Connect with me on social media and much more. Hit the subscribe button, and if you like what you hear, share with your friends and leave it a rating. The Body's Chemical Factory, Part 1. Welcome back to the Be Fab, Be You Made Simple podcast. This is your host, Maria Horstman at BeFabBU.com, and I'm glad you are listening because today we're going to be talking about some really cool stuff about one of your most important organ in the body. So recently I completed my third liver flush within the last 9 months. And my body went through different experiences each time. It is quite amazing. And if you know me, you know I love to learn. And when possible and appropriate, I am my own guinea pig. So yeah, I've done 3 so far, and I'm speaking up a little bit and sharing more with you. So I thought I would do a few episodes to remind you of all the amazing, functions of the liver and how my experience doing this liver flushes have been. So you ready? Oh, by the way, if you're interested in giving your body some rest and start with my 4-day mini cleanse. It is a free guide, loads with amazing information and great recipes as well. It's a great way to kickstart your weight loss or just having a little break, like I said, in your body. So I'll put the link for you to download in the show notes. So head out to the show notes after the episode and grab it, okay? We can be book smart, but it's not until we apply and experience what we have learned that we get a true feel for it. I'm sure that you know what I'm talking about. This couldn't be more true about our health and healing practices. And that's one of the reasons that I love to experiment with my body in that way and do different protocols, especially when it's an area I know my body and I can benefit. And the liver and the gallbladder have been areas in need of extra attention for me. And if you're wondering how come, well, that's a great question. You know, often we associate liver imbalances with excessive alcohol consumption. Well, that's not my case. One would wish that's the only way to beat up this amazing organ and gland. Excessive drinking was not a thing for me before I became a health coach and trainer, and it definitely has not been since. So in my case, for decades, it has been was about excessive toxins from foods, especially sugar and processed foods. And there are plenty of other ways you and I are exposed to toxicity, though. And I'll touch on them shortly. Our bodies talk to us all the time. Just think about all the different organs that give us plenty of feedback. The heart is the most obvious. It beats, at different paces when we're stressed out, when we move our muscles, or when we're very calm. The stomach makes noises to signal hunger, and when foods and beverages don't agree with us, too. Overeat, and you can feel it. That belly gets big, right? put something that we're sensitive to it, we get bloated. It hurts whenever we consume, this insane foods and are not in agreement with us. So it will pick up. The brain shows its true power through headaches, your speech, eyesight, and memory abilities or inabilities, I guess. It's pretty good to tell us when isn't operating well. And also the brain, when it's really upset, will stop communicating with any and all the other muscles in the body, and we can shut down. The bladder, for example, you know, actually another part of the body that needs extra loving in myself here. It's pretty good to tell us when it's full, isn't it? When it's full, it wants to go. And boy, there are many times in my life that I'd simply look around and drop the pins because I had to go. The lack of communication with us or lack of being, it's a way to tell us also that is not a good thing. So please stay hydrated, okay? Don't overhydrate so you're not in the bathroom every 15 minutes. The lungs, another organ, right? They cause our rib cage to expand and shrink with each breath. So those things, we can see it. We can feel it in the most part too. And of course, we cannot forget about the skin, the largest organ in the body. It reflects how healthy and balanced our bodies are, from inside out, basically, from sweating to acne, psoriasis, rashes, dry skin or smooth skin, and so on. Plus, it soaks all in. Yes, the skin, man, think about all the things that you touch and you put in your skin. Yes, the skin is soaking all and is basically delegating the work here associated with all this stuff that we put on it or are in touch to many organs to deal with, including the liver. And then we have the liver. So let's talk about it. So that is the second largest organ in gland, and it performs over 500 essential tasks. And if you go to the literature, in medical literature, there's, some will say there's over 2,000, jobs that the liver play. It all, works all the time. And when we live an unhealthy lifestyle, the poor liver works even harder. But you know what? We don't feel it, right? The thing is, we don't feel it when it's happy, when it's tired, congested, irritated, or sick. It is just a workaholic being. Surely, like all the other organs I mentioned earlier, we can test for it, to see how it's doing and how it's operating. And I do that all the time with my clients. And as I perform, functional blood chemistry analysis, look at their work labs and all that. So the thing is, again, when we don't see it, we don't feel stuff, it's easy to ignore. It's that out of sight, out of mind, isn't it? So my goal here is to remind you of the liver's amazing functions and help you from now on to love and treat it with the most respect. It deserves it. You deserve it. It's in your bodies, for God's sake. So yes, let's take a look at this liver. So this article by the Medical News Today summarizes its function nicely. So I'm sharing here with you. So the functions of the liver are among these 500 plus jobs, as I mentioned, removing waste products and foreign substances from the bloodstream, regulating blood sugar levels, and creating essential nutrients. So here are some of the most important functions. Albumin production. Albumin is a protein that keeps fluids in the bloodstream from leaking into surrounding tissue. Yeah, we don't want anything leaking in our body. It also carries hormones, vitamins, and enzymes through the body. Bile production. Bile is a fluid that is critical to digestion and the absorption of fats in the small intestine. And that's where I also have a little problem. So I eat a lot of fat, but I also feel the consequence. I can see that as I secrete poop. Yes, we can see that through poop. Filters the blood, another function of the liver. All the blood leaving the stomach and intestines passes through the liver, which removes toxins, byproducts, and other harmful substances. Yes, very, very important. Another function is it regulates amino acids. Holy moly, we need those amino acids. The production of proteins depends on amino acids. And the liver makes sure amino acid levels in the bloodstream remain healthy. Thank you, liver. Also, it regulates blood clotting. Blood clotting coagulants, are created using vitamin K, which can only be absorbed with the help of bile, a fluid the liver produces. Again, thank you, liver. The liver resists infections. Yes. It's helping us to stay healthy. As part of the filtering process, the liver also removes bacteria from the bloodstream. Another function is it stores vitamins and minerals. Yes, it stores a lot of stuff. The liver stores significant amounts of vitamin A, D, E, K, and B12, as well as iron and copper. And processes glucose. The liver removes excess glucose or sugar from the bloodstream and stores it as glycogen. So when we need it, it's going to go in there, it's going to convert glycogen into glucose so we can use for energy. Now, these are just a few of them, but these are very, very important ones. I often say we are what we absorb. Heck, we have to process what we absorb, and we need the liver to do it. The liver is the body's mechanical factory because it processes the nutrients from the small intestine and make all the various chemicals the body needs to function. As I mentioned, I abused my body, liver, and gallbladder, with insane amounts of sugar and other inflammatory foods. However, the toxins are everywhere, and there is no way to eliminate them. We can reduce them for sure. Here are some other sources of toxins for you to think about and be reminded of, because we go live life and we forget about this stuff. Perfumes, shampoos, creams, hair products, hair fresheners, hairsprays, hair dye, makeup, all sorts of chemicals, and cleaning products too. We just don't notice, like I said, the skin is absorbing a lot. So let's not forget about the toxins in medications and recreational drugs. Lucky me, I have taken very little medication so far in my life, and I want to keep that way. And I have not ever used any drugs, so I'm good in that department. Well, although alcohol is considered a drug, so yes, I've been exposed to that plenty of times and until these days. Then we have heavy metals, such as mercury, lead, aluminum, arsenic, and others. They're also found in water, foods, cans, and other products. Then we have radiation that it's in MRIs, flights, airplane flights, foods, water, X-ray, and of course, cell phones, which is becoming more and more of a problem because we don't seem to be able to detach from these guys. So another incentive here to kind of detach as much as you can. It is true, the liver is a strong beast and can regenerate itself as long as a minimum of 25% of the tissue remains. However, our lifestyle, quality of foods and water, and levels of stress, and they put a lot of stress on the liver, and they take a toll. This level of exposure is very different than the generations prior to ours, and I believe that the organ needs a rest. Ultimately, the reality is that the health of our liver has a direct impact in our metabolism, energy, overall health, prevention of diseases, and so on. So when someone is trying everything, to balance their weight, blood sugar, cognition, metabolism, performance, and the list goes on, and they're not getting results, we need to dig deeper. One place to look at it is our liver. That's why I'm here with this message for you. Look, I unknowingly, did this damage to my liver for decades. So I don't want you to feel bad or alone when it comes to the information I just shared with you. There is no blame here in regards to the lifestyle that we've had so far. Maybe that has not been the best. The awesome thing is that you can change this. You have the choice. You have authority. And it starts with you appreciating your body and your liver and making small changes. Next episode, we will continue the conversation about the liver. And if you like to optimize your health and performance, you don't have to keep listening to this podcast episodes. You can just go ahead, go to bfabbu.com, book a call, and let's get started. Be ready to rock and roll. Let's talk about your health and wellness, where you want to go, what is keeping you awake at night, like most people say, right? Something's very worrisome. And don't forget to download my free 4-day mini cleanse. Get started that way too. It is a free guide with loads of great information and recipes. They get you in the right path here for a healthier you. The link is in the show notes. And if you enjoyed this episode, please share with your family and friends. And if you're listening to it on Apple Podcasts or iTunes, leave us a rating and your feedback. That will help the show and will help us reach other amazing people just like you. So changing lives is just around the corner. Sometimes it starts with one little action. Actually, most of the times it starts with one little action. That one little action can turn into amazing transformation. And I'm here to help you. So I'll talk to you soon. And have a great rest of your day. Thanks for listening to the BFABU Made Simple podcast. Can you do me a favor? If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend and leave it a rating. It helps the podcast and I really appreciate it. If you're wondering where to start, head over to my website, linked in the show notes, to sign up to receive encouragement, tips, and strategies to maximize results. While you're there, download a free health guide to get you started today. If you're looking for a coach and trainer to help you optimize your weight, body, and health, get on my calendar. Let's discuss your goals, establish a custom plan, implement it, and celebrate your results. Together, we can do this. Find the link to schedule a free energy audit strategy session also in the show notes. Connect with me on social media. I would love for you to let me know that you're listening to the show. Also see the show notes for the links. In addition to a qualified healthcare practitioner, it's important that you have someone in your corner who is in for you and will help you to plan and stay on track implementing your goals. Are you ready? Let's rock and roll this boat. I will see you on the next episode of BFABU Made Simple. Just a reminder that this podcast is for educational purposes only. This podcast is not a substitute for health care by a doctor or other qualified medical professionals. This podcast is provided on the understanding that it does not constitute medical or other professional advice or services.